Hey everybody, this is going to be my second video on Python in Alteryx. What we're going to do today is we're going to go through my downloads. Yes, my downloads. And we're going to check all these files to see if they're duplicates. We're not going to hit the subdirectories because that's more work, and this is just a demonstration, but we're going to go through all these files and we're going to figure out which one of these are duplicates. And when I say duplicates, I mean in content, not just in, size and name or anything like that, but really in content. And how we're going to do that is by utilizing the Filecmp library in Python, and in particular the Filecmp.cmp method. So really quickly, let's jump into Alteryx. What I like to do when I'm dealing with files is I like to reduce them down into basically one cell in the Alteryx data frame, or results, as I call it, data frame. I don't know if they would call it a data frame. That's a question for Alteryx, not for me. I'm going to call it a data frame because that's what it looks like. The results are essentially a data frame. So once we have this, we can import, which I imported my script because in the middle of making my last video, it just disappeared. So I feel like the more secure way to deal with Python in Alteryx, because it is a little finicky, is to import your script. So you can write your script in Jupyter, import it in, and it stays. I mean, it really, really stays. You can't even change it. If you want to make a change, you have to make a change in outside and then bring it in. So everything just sticks, which is good actually, now that I think about it. But then you come to this kind of juncture of why is it so finicky, like maybe there's a little button you could hit where you could do your edits and then it's just locks in. Either way, let's talk about the code. So once we read it in through #1, we then have one cell essentially. That one cell is directory, and we hit it with the iloc0. We get our variable. It's gonna pull in with two of these slashes, and then we replace it with the backslash. And then from there, we use the OS listdir to get all the files. We get all the files, and the full path is then joined through a list comprehension with a plus each for each in the file list. As a result, now we have everything we need, and we have our full path list, which is what will invoke the function right here. Let's talk about the function. 3 empty lists, empty, get it? Okay, cheesy, I know, but what do you want me to do, man? I gotta entertain myself. This is Python. It's not like I'm watching Comedy Central or something. So for each in X and for each other in X are essentially the same thing. It's nested inside, but we're just hitting it twice to get the same values, right? So the first thing we're going to do is Filecmp.cmp. It's going to be each and each other compared on a shallow false. Shallow, what it means is this: is that if you select true, it's going to just look at the name and the size. It's not going to actually look at the content. And what we want is a deeper dive. So in selecting false, that's what you get. All the lists are appended. Each goes to empty. MT2 is each other, and then the results, the Boolean, goes into MT3. At this point, we still need to stick this into something that pandas can read, which we can do that with a dictionary, and we put the key value pairs that'll become the headers, and then we read it out. And after reading it out, we can also push it out to Alteryx as well. And that's what we essentially do here. And these are the results. Look at that. We have 31,000 rows of information to go through. We're not going to go through it in Python. Why? Why would we do that when we have Alteryx? So let's run this. If you run this as a notebook, it's going to run 13.4 seconds. And if you turn it to production, it's going to be 12.7. for our purposes, we don't need all that. We're good. We'll just keep it as a notebook, and at the end we can move it to production so we can still kind of see stuff. We have everything out, and I need my results. So give me 1 second. Let me see where they are. Here we go. These are my results. Okay. This is a little bit messy. I don't like looking at this this way, at least, because as you can see, these file paths are long. So the easiest way to do this is to go back here, grab this, and then what we can do is grab a multi-field formula tool. Multi-field formula, grab all the text. Do I need to run you again? Ugh. Always gotta do something like that, you know? Can't just, you can't lend yourself to me. You can't work with me. Come on, Alteryx. All right. Well, here's the good news. We got that resolved. The second thing, we need to move this down. What the heck? All right, well, what am I gonna do with you? See, the good news is when you have two monitors, you can do a lot of funky stuff, but then when you're trying to do a video on one display, it becomes a little annoying. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to do a replace, which is similar to Python, not that different. And that would be right here. So this also gives you how it should work as well. Already in here. We want to replace this with the current field. We then want to put our target in. There's only one thing left to do. You're going to run this and it's not going to work. And you're going to say, why? Why didn't it work? Well, here's the reason why. So when it comes out of Python, it's going the other way. Yeah, that's a voila moment. Okay. Here we go. We'll run that. And then on top of that, we'll filter out the ones that are equal to each other, right? So we can get, if file 1 is equal to file 2, then we don't want to look at it. So put the not here. And that should reduce our results, sort of. And then we can figure out how else we can reduce everything. Longest 14 seconds of my life. Is it 14 seconds now that I added this stuff to it? Let's see how long it is. Ah, it was close. 13 and a half. Okay. We have everything here, except we didn't want to do it that way. We should take this off. But for now, we're good. We can still... Well... That... Oh, we're back on Jupiter. How did that happen? Did Alteryx just shut down? I made Alteryx crash. And on a video, I'm going to post this. This one, I don't care what happens. I'm posting it, boy. I am posting it. File recovery. Let's see what this is. This is going to be fun. Okay, this is demo autosave. Let's just save it just so I don't have any headaches later. What's this workflow? Oh, that's something else. Entirely different. But that's funny that during a tutorial the thing crashes. But the cool thing is it has that auto recovery. That'll take care of you. Okay, we're not dealing with the smallest workload either, so cut it some slack. The next step here is the multi. We're gonna do a. Let's make sure it's not copying, and then we're gonna put another filter here, and the filter that we're gonna put here is gonna deal with the booleans. So result is true. Let's rock and roll, baby. Let's see how long it's gonna take. Hopefully it'll still be under 20 seconds. Quantum computing, boy. Here we go. Okay, we have 46 results. And in these 46 results, oftentimes what you have is the flip taking place. So really what it is only half of this is really content that's usable. But, you know, are we really going to go through and do that type of iterative analysis? No, we don't need to do that, because all we need to do is select the first set, the first half. So, you know, 46 divided by 2 is what, 23? Okay, so the first 23 files are your results, and that's it. Really simple. We don't need to do more than that. However, I would like to do something to make it a little bit neater. So what we're going to do is do something like this. File 1 according to, I can't even type, according to file cmp.cmp are the same. That doesn't make grammatical sense, so let's see. And, okay, so these are strings, and we do want to pass these through, so we do need to put quotations, 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 quotations. Okay. Put a space here, put a space here, put a space there. And we have our log. And then if you really want to look at it, then the easiest way would be to do something like this. Here we go, boom, browse. And then we can get rid of all the other stuff. Results, file 2, and as promised, because we don't need to look at it twice, all you gotta do is drop in and do 23. Let's run it, boy. Okay. There we go. How many seconds did this take? It took 13 seconds. You're making a video and you have dead silence, it feels like a year. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, these are the results, and this is your log of all the junk that's in there. That's the same. So this is what's in my downloads, and it's identically the same. That's it. So this is a kind of mutation of the division of labor, where you're using one aspect of a tool to do the legwork inside another tool. Can you do this with Alteryx? Yeah, you really could actually if you wanted to, but the iteration portion, it's not there. So there is a lot of benefit to bringing Python into Alteryx, but as we saw, it crashed, which is not good. No, bad Alteryx, bad. But thinking about it, I would say that it it's overall very helpful to bring in Python to do these kind of things, because the alternative wouldn't be easy. It would be cumbersome and annoying. And I think as Alteryx matures, there's a lot of room for Python to be brought in, because there's no muscle to R. There really isn't. Maybe in the statistical sense there is, but there's no muscle to R. How are you going to iterate? How are you going to do those loops? How are you going to build functions? You're really not. I mean, ggplot looks really cool. I have to, I like it. But, outside of that, then what, man? You're like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not Mr. PhD. I program in R. Like I don't. So it's easier for me to work with SQL, to work with Python. Please don't hate me for talking bad about R. It just looks daunting to learn, so I'm not gonna do it until like someone puts a gun to my head, like you have to learn R, man, and then I'll do it. But other than that, let me know what you think, and if you're interested in doing something similar, feel free to do it. Thank you. Take care.